Hey kiddos, it's Papa Reeb. Welcome to the band room. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna look at music theory today, the basics of counting out notes. Now for some of you, this is gonna be boring. So don't fall asleep though, stay awake. For some of you, this is gonna be a real challenge and it's gonna be difficult. But the nice thing about having the video is you can watch it over and over and over and get to see my wonderful face and get to learn the subject matter. So you might have a piece of paper and some pencil ready, or in my case, I still use crayons. That's an inside joke. For some of you, you'll get it. So get a pencil and paper ready, all right? And just write down counting of notes. Hopefully what we're going to get through in this short video is an understanding of rhythm, beat, tempo, and note values. Again, rhythm, beat, tempo, and note values. We're going to learn how to count out notes. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. See, I told you it's going to be easy for some. Just about every one of you have taken some sort of music lesson, either from me or from your private lesson teacher or in your music classes in elementary school. And no matter how you learned, one thing that you have to do in order to be successful in music is you have to be able to count out a beat. Right, Sarah? Right, Elena? Right, Vanessa? Right, Connor? Right, Daniel? Oh, Zach? All my drummers? You have to be able to count out a beat, right? And counting out a beat is where we really need to start. Without a discernible rhythm, big word, there's no order in music. And you can't dance unless there's good rhythm, and you can't bob your head and clap your hands. So we've got to be able to understand the beat. The beat is the pulse of time. If you think about the clock, right? Think of the clock, 60 seconds, right? Click, 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 click. Well, each click could be a beat. And if you do 60 of them in a minute, that's a tempo of 60 beats per minute. And you can think of each click as a beat. And you can speed it up or slow it down. And when you do that, that's called tempo. 60 beats a minute, 120 beats a minute, 30 beats a minute. Those are different tempos. So understand where the beat is. You got to get this in your head, in your heart, in your foot. You've got to be able to understand the beat and count the beat. Now let's talk a little bit about note value. If you think of music like language, which I do, then the notes are like letters of the alphabet. The notes make up different flavors and different sounds, and they all have different value. I'm going to show you a whiteboard that I handcrafted, and I realize it's kind of hokey and kind of cheesy, but I'm not the technology guy like you kids are. And again, some of this is going to be fairly simple to you, but it's important that you understand the value of the notes. And let's just review for a moment some terms. Rhythm. The word rhythm is a pattern of regular pulses in music. So especially some of my middle schoolers that might be listening to this, rhythm is the pulse in the music. A beat. Beat is a series of repeating pulsations. And each pulse is a beat. Tempo. Tempo is the rate of the beats. Fast, slow, right? And then the notes, which we're going to talk about now, is it tells the performer, the wind instrument, the percussionist, the string, how long and how often to play a certain note. So, for example, and some of you need to write this down, here we have a little note tree. This big fat note up here is called a whole note. So if we just think of 4/4 time, just for now, 4/4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The significance of the whole note is it's held for 4 beats. Pretty simple, huh? Now this is where the math comes into play. When you divide that, you cut it in half, it's got 2 half notes. Those would be 2 beats each. Pretty simple, right? 4 beats for the half note, or excuse me, 4 beats for the whole note, 2 beats for the half note. If you subdivide that, now you have 4 black notes or 4 quarter notes. And then when you subdivide that, you have 8 notes. They have the little flag there. You see the difference between those? Whole note is 4 beats, half note is 2 beats, quarter note is 1 beat, and an eighth note is a half a beat. That's where we learn how to count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. The and the 1 are eighth notes. Look at this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's how you would count it. Hopefully you got that clear in your head. A whole note's 4 beats, half note's 2 beats, quarter note's 1 beat, eighth note is a half a beat. Now, sometimes the notes can look funny. They can have a head, a stem, and a flag. So the head is the big round part. The stem is obviously the little line. And then the flag, like on an eighth note, comes off to the side. Some notes can have stems that are up. Some notes can have stems that are down. I wouldn't worry about that right now, but keep that in your brain for the future. So keep in mind, whole notes, 4 beats, half notes 2, right? So 4, 2, 1, aha. What would this be? Half of 1. Oh, and that one, 16th. I'll let you figure that one out later. All right? And then let's talk just a moment about dotted notes and tied notes. A dotted note just means that the dot represents half of the value of the note. So if a half note's 2 beats, you add a dot, half the value of 2 beats is 1, right? Half of 2 is 1. So 2 plus 1 is 3. It's 3 beats long. If you have a quarter note is 1 beat. If you add a dot, you get half of the value. So half of the value of 1 beat is half a beat. So it's 1.5 beats. And then look at the tied versus the slur. Tied notes occur when the notes are the same on the staff. Slurs are when they're different notes. So when you tie a note, if you look at this example, there's 2 quarter notes. So 1 quarter note tied to another quarter is 2 beats long. Pretty basic, pretty simple, right? So I'm going to go ahead and tap this out because it's like 8 minutes long, and you're probably falling asleep or getting bored. But there's also going to be in this assignment a document to look at, which kind of reiterates what I've just said. And then there'll also be a YouTube, short little YouTube to show you how to kind of reinforce this thinking. So again, this is part of our music theory, and it's how to count. So basically, you've learned what beats are, what notes are, and how to keep time. Practice, practice, practice is the key to all this. Now, how am I going to test you? I haven't decided that yet. I may send you each a piece of music and have you play it, or I may just call you and quiz you, or I might send you a document. I haven't decided that yet, so that's good news, right? So God bless you all. I miss you. And don't forget, this is the band room, and it's empty because it needs you. And let's take a look at this real quick. They're the happiest place on earth. Be encouraged, kiddos. I'll see you later. Bless you.